Greetings and welcome to Jesse I Interviews, recorded and produced on the lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the original custodians of these lands here in Naarm, which are otherwise known as Melbourne, Australia. This episode is a bit of a double feature, as it features two different people who were both here in Melbourne back in 2010 as part of the Australian World Music Expo. The first of these is the legendary Jamaican selector Rory StoneLove, and the second is Stevie Lightning, the lead singer of the Jamaican band Rootz Underground. This audio is taken from my radio show, Babylon Burning, when they came into the studio for a chat live on air. I haven't actually interviewed all that many soundmen, so I particularly enjoyed listening back to this chat with Rory. I can think of plenty of questions I'd like to ask him now, 15 years later. Let's get right into it. Jesse I interviews Rory StoneLove and Stevie Lightning back in November 2010. Yeah, Murder Styles here on PBS. You listen to Babylon Burning with Jesse I, and right now I'm very happy to welcome into the studio. We have the man Stevie from Rootz Underground, and representing the mighty, legendary StoneLove sound from Jamaica, we have Rory as well. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here, guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. And I like some mic volume because we don't want to shout, and EQ, some delay, some reverb. I'm a stroking king.
You're coming through loud and clear, man. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, let's start here at the beginning. For those that aren't familiar with sound system culture, because, for most Australians, they don't know what sound system means. Can you tell us what is sound system?
I put like this. It's basically a mobile discotheque. Probably that's a good way to describe it for Australians. But with Jamaica culture now, we have a lot of songs adapted for that sound system. So it's a mobile discotheque for Australians, where if it was like, to suppose it was like a pop PA system, You'd have Britney Spears playing for that probably a good way to describe it. Singing a song for the DJ who's playing that sound. So like in Jamaica now, our Jamaican acts will be singing adapted songs for the Jamaican sound system.
Right. So in Jamaica, when people want to go and hear music, sound system is that's the dominant mode of delivery. Most people are going to go out to a sound system dance to hear music.
That is correct. That is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about StoneLove in particular? What's the history of StoneLove? It's one of the oldest sounds in Jamaica.
We were basically the pioneers of modern sound systems we have today.
Modern sound systems.
Before our time, it was like one garage turntable, and you have to spin it around quickly and get the version.
Yeah.
So we're just straight off of that. We still used to use tube amplifiers at the same time. We used to like a 4KT and a 6KT tube. We come from the tube days. Preamp was tube. Crosser was tube with a spring reverb, real old school. It was like double 15 speakers, Celestian, pies or tweeters on one horn, steel horn in a tree. We come from those days.
Right. So for those who are unfamiliar with what Rory's talking about here, we're talking about amplifiers and speaker boxes and all the technical components that build up a sound system.
Because basically a sound system had to sound different from another sound system. Every sound had a different sound. That was the key back in the day.
Yeah. But these days, we have sounds like Mighty Crown, for example, Sentinel. Sounds travel the world, and they're not traveling with any physical sound system. They're just coming with a big bag of dub plates.
That's right.
But this is still considered sound system. So sound systems evolved over the years, and now you're here tonight. You're playing in Melbourne. You don't have the actual StoneLove physical sound system, but you're going to play representing StoneLove.
Right. Tonight we are basically here to give... True, it's basically an expo, so it'll be different people from probably around the region of this continent. So we're directly trying to give a history of dancehall from way back when to what's going on now in our time, and plus with our special guest, it's a pleasure to have with me Stevie on the Rootz Underground, which was very hard to get him to leave his band and do something like this.
Yeah,
so
right.
We're very honored to do that also. So that's basically our plan for tonight.
Right. Well, let me take you back to the beginning. Like, how did you get your start with StoneLove?
Well, I used to be a thief.
A thief?
Yeah, I used to go around and rob people. It's a true story. This is very true.
It's true. I remember.
This is
you
true.
stole my wallet in '82.
I was a very disgusting person when I was young. And then I got into, we used to be dancers. We used to have a dance group. Then from dancing, wanted to play the sound system. Those days we were into like breakdance music.
Okay.
We were into breakdance music, and We used to just we wanted to scratch like Grandmaster Flash and what have you. And in those days, only the rich sounds could have the 12-inch records.
Right.
You understand me? So we used to had to mix reggae music. Like we would mix like Revolution, scratching Revolution and stuff like that. It's like 80, 83, 84. Like we were scratching, sitting and watching and stuff like that. It was really funny.
Right.
You know, we used to have like a little realistic mixer. I don't even know those little old two-track realistics. We used to work on that with garage turntables. We just call it a piece of record sleeves for the mixing man. We would come from. We used to just emphasize like we couldn't afford what the big sound set like. You understand me? And from that we went to there was a phase in Jamaica it was roughly in the mid 80s. That was like the early 80s. There was a revival of old Studio One music, like from Raid Sound with classic. And we got involved with that. We were doing like rock steady, ska, what have you, old soul, old 70s soul, Motown, 60s soul. And from there we got a name. Then we started the dub plate thing. Started making dub plates. You understand me? We didn't know that dub plates would be what it is today. We did it for the joke of it. Because you know, in those days it'd be like, it sounds like Sturgraph, Jaro, Gemini, old Gemini, Emperor Fate would play direct dub plates, you know, Scorpio, what have you. So when I sound like our song we're making dub plates, it was quite amusing. Never to know that when we started to make DJ dub plates, because they know it was much like vocal singers would make a dub plate special. So we started to use like we started making like DJs, so like Admiral Bailey, Shabba Rankin, you know, and we were first people ever carry Shabba to our studio. Right. Yes, I mean,
let me just pause you there. Once again, for the people that are listening that aren't familiar with this culture, like, can you explain what a dub plate is?
You have 3 different versions of dub plates. You have the original dub plate would be like an instrumental rhythm. So back in the days, like you could got the say Tubbies or Channel 1 to get a dub special. It'd be an instrumental rhythm mix just for your sounds. Only you would have that mix.
Yep.
So you'd probably be like, just imagine having like it's like a Revolution. You'd have a special mix for you, for your sound. Only you would have that mix because it'd be straight off the 8-track mix.
Yep.
Then from there you could have also another way of this dub. It's like a person singing a song for your sound on a dub plate. That'd be your personal dub plate. And it's always an exclusive song on a dub plate. On a plate, a dub plate is usually like a 10-inch. You understand?
The acetate, the heavy things.
It's metal.
Yeah. So
it's also a weapon too. You know, like the next person, you can frisbee it and you'll be good.
Chop off the head.
That's right.
Yeah. So the dub plate culture, that's really exploded. It, like you mentioned, you know, back in those days, you didn't really know that it was going to go on to be what it is today.
I used to go to Tubbies or Jammies every weekend and cut like to Sanchez, maybe to Johnny Osborne, a Shabba, Ninja Man, Admiral Bailey, Little Twitch. I used to have like $100.
Yeah,
you know, because it was nothing. It was nothing in those days. But I mean, like now, if I was to get those artists now, that for probably sell my car.
Yeah, you need deep pockets.
Yeah, you know, so it's really changed. When it changed is when you had sounds like, I think that Bodyguard and that song called Pieces for Montego Bay sport the artists and by giving them big money not to give nobody else the songs.
Right.
And artists realize, we can charge this big money for the dub plates. That's why it's so expensive now that it was back then. The problem about it now with dub plates is that the artists don't really care about how the dub plates sound. Like back in our day, they would try their best to be on key and what have you. Nowadays they don't really care if you're on key or off key. They don't really care now.
Yeah, I heard some really bad dub plates over the years.
They don't really care. So that's the biggest disappointment with nowadays dancehall dub plates.
Yeah, right.
Well, looking at other changes in the business, the first time I ever saw StoneLove was in Jamaica in 2002, and I saw StoneLove maybe 5 or 6 times on that trip to Jamaica. Back in those days, StoneLove was mainly 45s. It was still vinyl getting played in the dances when I saw StoneLove. But then my next trip the year after, and by 2004, I didn't see much vinyl being played. It seemed like around that time it just sort of phased out and the CD thing took over. And now, of course, there's Serato. So, I mean, how do you see the business changing over this time?
It's with the music. I mean, the actual music has evolved from back then to now. It changed when it went to CD, and I think that was probably our biggest mistake that we had with reggae music. It changed to CD. I remember the first time I saw a CD player was a friend called Carl Live. Yeah, that CD player. The first I saw a CD, and he was like, all these songs are on CD and it's super duper clean and what have you, and this is the future. And I didn't believe him, I didn't believe him, and it was a way for getting songs cheaper. That time we used to record. That time we had our own studio. We had a 24 and a 16 track studio, and we were recording our own songs. We didn't have to go to jammies no more, what have you. We could record in our own studio, and we basically were trying to beat the price of going to Dynamics and cutting this dub plate, the actual dub plate. It was like 1,500 per plate, and we had like 6 selectors. You're looking at $6,000 per plate.
Yeah.
As cut like 15 plates a week, so it adds up.
Yeah.
So we thought we go CD, it'd probably be cheaper.
Yep.
And plus, then Technics had a CD player. Then on Pioneer, the early stage of Pioneer, so we can juggle the 45s and put our dub plates on CDs. That might be a good idea. And then we toured the US a lot.
Yep.
Like we toured the US like every week, and most of the clubs in the US were now using CDs.
Right.
You understand me? And then plus buying records for like 8 selectors on a sound system is expensive too. So it's like you're spending crazy money. So you're trying to to make money at the same time. So it was basically a cost thing. Plus it was easier to carry out like less dub plates, because you cannot box the dub plates on tour.
It's heavy.
The airlines gonna kill you. The last time I carried vinyl, I went on tour in Europe. And if I'm talking too much, let me know.
No. Keep. It's good.
The last time I used vinyl was I was on a tour in Europe, and I reached the airport at Heathrow, flew to Heathrow suite, reached Heathrow, taking one of those I think it was EasyJet or Ryanair, one of those airlines. It was EasyJet. We took an EasyJet to Germany. That time we used to carry like a 12-inch record box, a 45 box plus a dub plate box. And they gave us the 10 Commandments. What they charged us, the money that we were getting paid couldn't cover it.
Yeah, right.
That was the last time I said, no, I'm not doing it no more.
Yep.
So I went strictly CD from there. And to this day, I regret it. I think it's a shame that we did that.
Right. Well, these days, I mean, even if you want to play 45s, most of the new music doesn't come out on 45 anymore anyway. Yeah, it's in the last 2 years, it's really, really dried up.
I remember we used to play for this guy in Japan named Rico. He was a 45. This distributor used to distribute 45s. Like you'd buy 45s from Dynamics, ship them over and sell them.
Yeah.
To wholesale to different record shops in Japan, and we used to play for him like every year. And the year that we went CD, he said, "Don't play CDs. Please just put on the record and make it like you're playing a record, because they'll copy you.
Yep.
They won't play records anymore." I thought, nah, man, you're crazy. I'm gonna laugh. And the next year, there was not a sound playing. There wasn't a sound in Japan playing vinyl anymore.
Yeah.
That was the end of that. The same thing like in London. We played in London. We played CDs, and they said, "Yes, you should have done it a long time ago. We should be playing CDs." And it's a shame that, I mean, like I have some friends on Facebook that still play vinyl, and I feel so guilty. I'm like, shit. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, radio. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
It's a real shame, and it's like now that I'm producing, I produced Rootz last album. I could never believe it would ever be on vinyl. It's like I'm taking away somebody's dream, you know, to have your record album. You know,
Yep.
you know, it's such a shame.
Yeah. Well, changing the subject totally at the moment, one thing I wanted to ask about, we hear about sounds in Jamaica with they get their allegiances to Gully or Gaza, and certain sounds don't play certain kind of tunes. It's like you can't play Cartel on this sound or whatever. Obviously, a big sound like StoneLove can't be biased like this, but what's going on in the business in Jamaica? Is that true? Do we have selectors and DJs, radio DJs and everything that won't play certain things?
I think that what happened, that we had a lot of, we used to have like 2 radio stations. We had RGR and JBC. Then we had REFM, 100% reggae music. Then it opened up to, you know, you had many stations, radio stations. So then first you have many disc jockeys, and then you had disc jockeys who weren't really radio disc jockeys. Like
Right.
you can be a sound system disc jockey, and you can be a radio disc jockey. And they didn't quite understand the difference of being a radio DJ and sound system DJ. And what happened is that you had a generation of DJs who there was a lot of money taking place, like to play. I would give you a bag of money to play my song, and I would give you a bag of money not to play somebody else's song.
Yep.
You know, you're buying a DJ.
Yep.
So from that, now you have DJs now who only play Gully side, because they play Gaza. They might get when they go outside, they might not be as pleasant way going home. You understand me? That does happen. I know DJs who have got leaving, finish playing, and when they leave, and they get ganged and beaten. It does happen, but not to me.
Yeah.
It won't happen to me. You know. But I think that there's an old saying, "Don't be over frightened still." You know, and not very frightened.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I don't think the Gaza and Gully side thing is a thing of a past now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a break. Don't go anywhere. I want to go to a song now from Rootz Underground, then we're going to come back and talk a little bit with Stevie. But this is a tune here from this CD, Gravity. Maybe you can introduce it for me, Stevie.
Yeah, this song is Power to the People, you know, and it's also a tribute to Sugar Mine at the late great, you know what I mean, and the No Vacancy style rhythm. And it's our leading tune on our album, Power to the People, to connect the world through music, yeah.
All right, you're on PBS.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
Yeah.
In this your worldwide struggle, I'm in say power to my people. Yes, alright. Sure.
Kingston in 106.7 PBS FM. Babylon Burning is the name of the program. Jesse I is with you, joined by Rory from StoneLove and also Stevie from Rootz Underground. So maybe tell us a little about the history of Rootz Underground, Stevie, for those that aren't familiar.
Right. Well, first I'd like to say thanks for having us here on PBS. Rootz Underground, representing, of course, for the reggae band based in Kingston, Jamaica. This is our 10th anniversary.
Okay.
And we've been touring around, different continents and different countries and trying to spread our music in the most effective and optimal way possible, which is straight to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're about. And, big up to Jeff, Colin, Son, Scooby and Charles, the rest of the crew back home. Of course, big up to the man Rory, top selector, as you're talking to. He and I are here together representing Jamaica as the delegation from Jamaica for the AWME, as well as we'll, of course, be featuring tonight, in the hi-fi.
Yeah. So Rootz Underground is a proper reggae band.
Yes.
This is
depends on what I mean by proper, but yes. I mean, do we use knife and fork in every meal?
No, that's not what I mean by proper. But
yeah, man, we are 6 human beings playing music for 10
live
years together. Live instruments, yeah. 2 guitars, 1 bass, 1 keyboard, drum, vocalist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, in Jamaica, every time I go to a stage show in Jamaica, there's bands backing the artists, but the self-contained reggae bands like Bob Marley and the Wailers and bands like Third World that were a self-contained band, that's quite a rare thing in modern Jamaican music, really.
Yes.
So how did Rootz Underground come about? Was there a conscious decision to keep it as a proper band like that?
Yes, and also, we started out with, the vision of the band before we were even had the prowess, talent-wise, to deliver it on stage. So, even the concept of Rootz Underground was before, they are still practice singing and still practicing our guitars and drums at that time, So it wasn't as if we even had the ability to go and back other artists. We weren't good enough, maybe, or, like we never had it tight enough at that time. So that wasn't even a kind of concern for us, and then we have the creative force within the band as well, so we write our original material, and we started doing local shows in Jamaica first, building up a local audience, and then we were blessed with the opportunity to be able to travel overseas and represent and play first in North America, followed by other islands, Europe, Canada, and now tonight in Australia.
Right. What about you personally? You're the lead singer of Rootz Underground.
I am.
How did you come to be a reggae singer?
Well, I'm a Rastafari, and even growing up, I was a big fan. Man like Garnet Silk, the Archangel, and great. Of course, all too much for me to mention now in this interview, but all of the great veterans, both contemporary and vintage, was a big influence on me, and even my whole faith and my whole lifestyle, my philosophy and everything. So it was very powerful. Then I found that I had the talent to write. So instead of writing strictly love songs or things like that, we could also write things that would bring about a level of consciousness for the society to become better. And I saw that power early in us, and we're able to just give thanks to the Most High, make it manifest in music.
Well, tonight you're singing sound system style. Most of the tours we get to Australia, because it's so expensive to actually bring a band from Jamaica or anywhere around the world, most of the time we get a selector with whether it's a DJ or a singer or whatever, and that's how you're going to do it tonight. So, but this is for those. There's always some people in Australia that are disappointed they can't see the full band, and I'm sure that
the whole band is going to be here soon. Because we met a lot of great people who are really interested in making it happen, and we know that again with the will, which is positive, we know we're going to be here, and tonight will just be a little taste of it.
Yep.
And it no better style to represent and no better sound to play on than the mighty StoneLove Immortal,
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big joy for me, for us to be here to play. And I'm generally don't do that, generally don't play on sound systems, but as Rory is our brethren and also the producer of Gravity, our latest album, we know our musical personalities somewhat, so we're able to we're confident we'll deliver a nice combination style tonight.
Yeah. Of course, the artist and the selector combination is very common in Jamaica. I've been to enough dances where artists pass through and they're just singing over rhythms.
Yes.
So this is still a big part of sound system culture.
Yeah, man. We have to also give thanks to all the veterans of that as well, because no way is right or wrong. We say that, all of the different aspects and angles of the warriors out in the battlefield of music are necessary for us to overcome, you know. So like, you know, all of the different artists who do that tirelessly, you know, we big them up said way. It's not that our band thing is better or worse. It's just another format of music, and you know, we're just making sure that everybody understands that clearly, because it's also very expensive, and you have to give up not just money expensive, but soul expensive to have a band. You know what I mean? It's a lot of sacrifice, compromise, you know, opportunities come and gone, etc. You know, and you stick together through just an article love for one another. You know, family wise.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a wicked show tonight. We're really looking forward to seeing StoneLove, Stevie on the mic, Rory, of course, running everything.
Yes. I would say big up to man like Simon Ray and Sophie Best and the people who definitely was instrumental in bringing us here.
Especially, you know. Sophie.
Man like Yanni,
yeah, man.
the top delegate, you know, of the whole thing, you know. And we really want to thank them. Warren,
you know,
Mike Warren Keisha. Smith from the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival, Mike Keisha. You know, of course, the Rootz Underground family in Jamaica, big up, Riverstone Records, StoneLove Music, all of these people who made it possible.
Big up once again Sophie, because she really work hard.
Sophie,
yeah, man.
Got our visas, man, so. All that good stuff.
Big up my brethren beside me, you know.
For those that can't see us ranking you in the studio.
Yeah, man, it's a youth that we see my California and pleasure. Yeah, you know, say, he make me comment to you, know, so enough respect. You're nice youths, you know.
So we're just making the link of the worldwide link become more solid, you know.
Yeah.
And thank you too, you know. I'm on the station too. You never do it, you know.
Yeah, I love the tune them where you play on the way here too. We've been tuned in on the whole.
But like a request, you know, if it's possible still.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slave Master Gregory still, you know. Personal brethren still, you know, for real.
I don't know if I have it here this week.
Okay,
I'll play it for you next week.
Okay, I'll be online. Yeah, listening for it, you know.
Yeah.
Enough respect because you play some wicked foundation culture music, my lads. We love that.
Yeah, and I want to also say big up to all the roots artists right around Australasia, as they say, because it's also roots from the heart, not just reggae music is roots. Roots is anything creative, original, you know, tribal, from the earth, from the soul. So we've seen a lot of that being here, and we really big them up and tell them to keep at it and help keep inspiring us as well.
Yeah. All right. Give thanks. Thanks for it. It's a real pleasure to have you guys in the studio. Yes, and we'll see you tonight for the big dance. Right now, let's hear a next tune from this CD. It's called Gravity, and as you can see on the CD, it's Rory from StoneLove Production, Riverstone Records, and we're going to go to a tune now, Unknown Soldier. We do give thanks.
Give thanks.
Rory StoneLove and Stevie Lightning of Rootz Underground speaking to me there back in November 2010. That's it for another episode. Big shout out, as always, to the Patreon supporters who have been crucial in helping me keep this thing going. Big up the Don Armageddon Time, the Real General Empress Irie, me Idrin Tom Taniki, and me Chargy DJ Pablito. Thanks for listening. Eyes as every time.
Consciousness, and your road's reality, Seek Jah first, not damn vanity. Consciousness, I know, and your road's reality.